Hello there, gamerinos and gamerinas. Welcome to UnicornStorm. This is Rady, and today I'm here to tell you whether or not Maquette is worth your while. And this is gonna be a short one. So I'm a bit weird when it comes to trailers or gameplay reveals. I may take a peek at the first teaser, at the first gameplay trailer or whatever. Maybe look at a few screenshots. And well, I try to stay informed about big changes in developments, controversies and the like. But if I'm interested in a game, I try to avoid most of the information after the announcement, after the first reveal. If the first impression of a game got me interested in buying it, then most of the time I'll go through with it. At least as long as the game doesn't receive too much negative coverage. And most of the time I'm glad I do things this way, because I have watched a lot of let's plays and critiques and other video game coverage where someone mentions how he knows the solution to a puzzle from the trailer, how he knows this and that story element from the trailer. A friend of mine kinda lost a lot of his excitement for Kingdom Hearts 3 because he learned about every stage from the trailers. Not that the game deserved much excitement. So yeah, I believe I'm faring well enough by not watching every trailer, every preview, every pre-release critique. Because so I can actually be surprised by a game. But once and again, I buy a game and get surprised in a bad way. And the most recent time this happened was with Maquette. I read about the game, and from what it looked like and how I understood it, it seemed to be a surreal puzzle game that focuses heavily on perspective. Maybe a bit like Superliminal. And I also instantly liked the look of it. So yeah, when it released, I bought it, I played it, and I got disappointed. First off, the game does look really beautiful. It's colorful and uses some weird architecture. And yes, it does play around with perspective. So you are in this ever-changing hub where you find some smaller puzzle sections in every direction. And by completing all of them, you'll progress and change the hub a bit at a time to get access to new puzzle sections. In the hub's center is a smaller replica of your hub. And if you look closely, you can see a much bigger version of your hub world in the background. So I guess you're in a kind of infinite world that gets smaller and smaller and also bigger and bigger. But while you're interacting with only two planes. The one you're actually moving around that is kinda fitted to your character's height, and the smaller replica in the center. You can find different items and objects in the environment, and if they're not too big or too heavy, you can pick them up and carry them around and use them at specific places. Sometimes it's a key you have to put in the correct lock. Sometimes it's a crystal that allows you to pass through a barrier. Sometimes it's a bridge you need to cross a gap. And well, if there is a huge gap in front of you and you just have this small bridge in your hand, well then, you can just go to the replica and put the bridge there. And then the bridge will magically appear in the real world, where it's now big enough to allow you to cross the gap. It's also pretty nifty that when you place an object on the ground, you can then venture to the replica and find a even smaller version of that object inside the replica, and then can pick up this version of it, because sometimes you'll need a really small key or something like that. And when you come across these kinds of puzzles, the game is a lot of fun. This just doesn't happen very often. Or more accurately, it isn't really the main activity in the game. Most of the time you're wandering around, coming across written text about the relationship between your character, I guess, and her boyfriend, I guess. And every time you unlock a new location, you'll get to listen to a kinda cringy, hipster-like conversation between those two lovers, while you can watch an animation of a painting being drawn in the background. Depending on your tastes, my description might sound worse than it actually is. To me, the game came off as pretentious. Well, a bit too much hipster. But I guess there are enough people out there who enjoy this kind of story and storytelling. It's supposed to be relatable, but reminded me more of some intellectual indie short movie. You know the ones. The music is fine. The game, while graphically not much to speak of, looks really gorgeous just because of its art style and its use of color. And the puzzles can be really creative. But the more I played it, the more it felt to me like an walking simulator with some extra steps. For every time where you feel really smart about solving a puzzle, there are 3 times where you just pick up an object, place it down and walk forward. And please don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with walking simulators. I do enjoy them. I think a lot of them are real fun and don't deserve the bad rap that comes with the genre. But this game could have done so much more with its puzzles. And it should have allowed so much more interaction with its weird approach to its game world. But it didn't do much of anything. So is this game worth your while if you want a walking simulator with a oh so relatable love story and some expressionistic influences and a handful of cool puzzles? Then this could be a game for you. If you want a weird and unique and creative puzzle experience, well, this isn't it. There is a foundation for a great puzzle game, but nothing more. Nothing built on it. This game has the depth of a really beautiful puddle, so you might want to give it a pass. But whatever you do, I hope you'll have a great day. That's it from Rady, and I hope to see you again on the next game.